No breathing room. I heard on the news that 600 people up in Chicago died last week from the heat. Mostly old people, laying there dead all by themselves. It's been over 100 degrees down here 10 days in a row. Noonie sent me out in this heat to get her powdered donuts. Walking in the house is like walking in a freezer. I don't know why she keeps it so cold. Maybe she's afraid they'll find her dead like those other old people. Noonie's my mother-in-law. Donald, her son, is my husband. Donald's home from work. He's sitting in the living room in his recliner. Noonie's over there in her matching recliner. A pitcher of iced tea sits on the table between them, next to Noonie's ashtray. That table's all scarred with water stains and burns from Noonie's cigarettes. My mama gave me that table 30 years ago as a wedding present. Donald and Noonie are watching Entertainment Tonight, so they don't bother speaking to me. The gray lights flickering on their faces, making them look kind of slack-jawed. Oh my, their hearts looking all serious. Oh, they're watching that Christmas home video of those two babies Susan Smith drowned. Now they put two numbers up on the television screen. You dial 1-900 number if you want a Susan Smith executed. You dial the other number if you just wanted to rot in prison. Noonie grabs a pencil and turns on the lamp beside her. The one with the plastic still wrapped around the shade. The one she bought 8 years ago when I was in Baptist Hospital having my hysterectomy. She writes down the numbers. Then she stubs out a cigarette and takes a gasp of air from the little green tank that sits beside her on the floor. Now she punches in the numbers on the Blue Princess telephone and says, "Execution." Then she shoves the phone over to Donald and he punches in the same numbers. "Call," Noonie says to me. "In the kitchen, Noonie. Dinner's almost done." And I walk that narrow vinyl runner that cuts through the middle of the living room. The one she had put down to protect the shag carpeting she had installed 4 years ago when I was at Baptist Hospital having my hysterectomy. "You get my donuts?" That means Entertainment Tonight is off and Wheel of Fortune is on. "Yes, Noonie." And I look around at the kitchen at Nooney's dinette set, Nooney's teapot clock, Nooney's favorite dinner setting on the stove, salmon croquettes, mashed potatoes, and LeSueur English peas. And I wonder, is execution really worse than life in prison? Then I put a little extra salt in the LeSueurs, even though I know it will make Nooney's breathing harder tonight. You see, Nooney had triple bypass surgery in April. It was the same sort of operation they did on Jesse Helms. It's my understanding they used a pig's aorta to replace the diseased valve in Nooney's heart. I reckon they were counting on a pig's heart as something Nooney might not reject. But we almost lost her anyway. One night, I was setting up at the hospital when the nurse from critical care comes running down the hallway to get me. I go into Nooney's room, and she's laying there with the oxygen mask tied across her mouth so she can't talk. Her skin was the sheen of raw biscuit dough. The blips on the machine were getting closer and closer together. Nooney, honey, if you want to go on, you go on. I'll be here to take care of Donald. Her eyes started rolling around like marbles under their lids, and her hands started twitching like a dying rattlesnake. And the blips slowed down. We brought her back home again for me to take care of. Donald tramps into the kitchen now to get more ice for the tea.
Execute the bitch.
He used to not talk like that. Started talking like that when he lost his job as manager at the county bank. A big New York bank came through these parts, buying up all the little banks like Sherman marching through Georgia. They laid Donald off 18 months before he could draw his pension. Took him 2 years to find a new job. Changing oil at the Quickie Lube.
Dinner ready? Nooney's hungry.
Yes, Donald. I fixed your favorite.
Croquettes? You had croquettes not before last, Loretta. Where's your mind?
Takes a cigarette out of his pocket, goes to light it, his hand shaking. You can't smoke in here, Donald. The kitchen is mine. Puts the cigarette over his right ear like all the other mechanics do. He never used to do that sort of thing either when he worked at the bank. Donald, I went to see the doctor this morning. He thinks I shouldn't be lifting your mama out of the tub anymore. I can't see his face because it's hidden by the freezer door, but I can tell he stopped dropping ice into the pitcher for a minute. Donald, I'm going back in for surgery. They may cut off my other breast. At this point, I think your mama would be better off in a convalescent home. He slams the freezer door shut and just stands there looking at all the magnets on the refrigerator door.
Loretta, she'd rather die than go to a convalescent home.
Well, Donald, she had that opportunity and she passed it up.
She buys all the groceries and pays the utilities.
I'll get a job.
Doing what? You ain't got no skills, Loretta.
I take the fork and start stabbing those salmon patties out of the skillet and onto his mama's platter. When I turn around, Donald's at the kitchen sink holding a knife. Donald, I can't stand your mama in the house anymore.
Loretta, don't start.
Donald, it's either her or me.
Loretta, I don't know what you want.
I want something different before I die.
She's waiting on a tea.
Donald, you walk away from me now, and it's over. I guess I never noticed how much his pants bag in the butt.